scalpers are quite an interesting phenomenon to look at from a distance, or at least from me. Let me be clear, I hate scalpers. I do not like them at all. I think they are terrible people and they are doing terrible things. I mean, really, they're just ruining the experience for a lot of people. They're bringing up prices and yeah, they're just kind of benefiting themselves from something that should just otherwise be a fun experience for everybody. Also, I'm quite sure it is illegal, especially if you are scalping consoles or games before their release date. I don't think it really matters what country you're in. I'm sure that probably is breaking some sort of a law, I would assume. And apparently in Japan, there is somebody, or maybe it's an entire company, I don't really know, but they identify themselves as the king of the scalpers. This is Kaitori Enoking. I have never heard of this person or this group. I don't really know what it is. When I look on their Twitter, it did translate everything, and translations can be different depending on which translation you use. So this is telling me that they call themselves king of the reseller. Kind of the same thing, I would assume. So looking at their bio, they say, "We are engaged in the wholesale of game consoles, Pokemon cards, Instax, related products, whiskey, and iPhones." It's weird to throw whiskey in there. And it says, "Feel free to contact us. We welcome corporate customers." So apparently they're the one-stop shop black market for Nintendo Switches, iPhones, and whiskey. An odd combination, but you know, whatever. Now, there was this Automaton article that talked about them just recently. Now, I will link it in the description. Now, a lot of the posts on X they reference are now deactivated. That's kind of interesting. And I am also noticing that they're making a lot of posts very frequently. Like, I see they just have a post like 2 minutes ago, and then it looks like one was a few minutes after that. They're kind of just rapid firing off all of these posts, but I guess some of these, maybe more controversial ones, they are now deleting. So Automaton grabbed these posts early before they were deleted. So it looks like this was a post from last week, and basically they were selling 10 Nintendo Switch 2s by themselves for 65k yen. And then they were selling the bundle that includes the Switch and the Mario Kart World, and that was for 70,000 yen. And it says, if you decide quickly, you can pick it up after noon on June 4th, and that is today, and that is the day before the release date. So there were 10 Nintendo Switch 2s and then 100 Switch 2 bundles with Mario Kart, so 110 total, and Automaton notes that these were all sold in a couple days. And what's interesting is that it does look like they sold the Switches by themselves for, you know, an increase in a price. I mean, that is probably not a surprise. But they sold the Switch and Mario Kart bundles at pretty much the exact same price as what is being offered for official day one Nintendo Switches. That was very surprising to me because you would think that the prices would be really jacked up since, you know, you're buying the console a day early. And so I think it really brings into question, like, who is this reseller? Who is this scalper? You know, how do they get their ties and they get their hands on these units? I mean, it's not like they are buying it like officially somehow early and then reselling it for a profit. I mean, I feel like, you know, and I have no way to confirm this. This is absolutely 100% just my opinion. I feel like maybe they just work in some sort of factory and maybe they were just able to grab some of these themselves. Just my opinion, but who knows how these scalpers actually do it. You know, the before release date scalpers, I mean, that is kind of an interesting thing to watch. Now, remember those controversial posts I was talking about on X that are deleted now? So some of those are also from this. So it says more recent posts on their X account talk about their devotion to reselling to pure-blood Japanese people and true gamers at a fair price, likely in an attempt to take moral high ground over overseas resellers. But it says, however, many Japanese commenters are upset with Kaitori Enoking's practices and they are banding together to report the behavior to Nintendo. Yeah, and that brings me to where I really am questioning, like, when is Nintendo, or is Nintendo going to take action here? I mean, maybe they are already trying to find this out. Maybe they already have the Scooby-Doo gang looking for this one individual who is reselling Switches early. I don't know. But as for right now, the quote-unquote king of the scalpers has struck the day before the Switch 2's launch and maybe will continue their work going forward.